What have we here? Got a steering wheel in this car. Wonder what happens if I steer it. Oh, look at that. You want to see how I did it? Stick around. So after sitting here, thinking about it, looking at it, staring at it, I've come up with an idea. I'm going to put a deep slice under here. I'm going to bend this up so it's vertical, and that'll give me a lot of surface area to attach a drop down that'll attach to the tie rod end. This link bar is going to sit halfway between the hairpin and as close as possible to the linkage in here, the suspension linkage. So when it's going straight, it'll be about here, and when you turn it, that's hitting the linkage. So that gives me my minimum distance I can come out, which I want to keep it as tight as possible to give me more turning radius, or a tighter turning radius for less input or movement on this linkage. So that's what I'm going to do now. Slice it, bend it, put it back on and see what I got. As you just saw, I made this, bent that, tacked it into place. It looks like it's going to work well. So when it's full locked that way, I've got a ruler's width between this link, the steering link, and the cantilever bracket there. I'm going to move it back around this way. There's no chance of that hitting. So I'm going to make the other side identical to this, and then I'll join the rod end onto this link, cut them to size. I've got them half turned out, so half the thread's in, half's out, so I can adjust it. I'll get it as close as I can by eye, and should be good. I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, it's not exactly the same as it was. I changed a few things around, but they are now connected. And I'm pretty happy with the steering lock angles. This one, this side, I need to modify a little bit, or just chuck a washer. I don't really want to do, but pretty happy. It looks weird because it's got a wide angle lens on, so you can see both sides at the same time. I ended up bending this part down. Well, this was the first side I did, and this one was bent up, the ear. And then when I made this one, I bent it down for some reason, but it worked out to be cleaner, in my opinion. So pretty happy. That's the this side. I've got to lower this a tiny bit because it hits here. You can see that. Oh, still got you on the tripod, but it's not actually hitting it at the moment. Oh, don't have to modify it. It's good. It is slightly hitting that, which will change when I redo that. For now, it's going to stay as it is. I've got them pretty well lined up. I'll do a proper wheel alignment once the wheels are on there. Yeah, that's the first part done. Alright, before I get too far ahead of myself, I'm going to show you what I got going on here. I'm going to pause the video here and skip through to the moment I realised I stuffed up. Alright, it's all connected, but this thing is full of slop. Right. Down here's not even moving. So I've got to rectify that. So this thing, I'm moving lock to lock, and it's barely moving up here. So I've got to sort that out. Fun and games. Fun and games. Right, learning lessons is always a good thing. I learnt my lesson with this. I now know why people don't use these as steering links. There's just too much play in them. So I'm going to use a straight shaft, come down through 2 bearings. This will be bolted on. It's a tight fit. It's loose there, but then it gets tight, so I'll have it on the tight part and then drill it. I'm going to cut this off just inside and have an arm coming out with a heim joint going down to another pivot similar to this, and then from there we'll have another arm, or it'll be a 90-degree arm, and that will activate the steering. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Right, so I've got this shaft, it's a bike axle, push bike axle. I've got a bearing that fits it perfectly, but I don't have anything to hold the bearing. So I'm going to show you how to make your own pillar block bearing without burning your bearing. Every time I see someone weld a bearing, weld straight onto a bearing, I cringe a little, because it's just going to destroy the bearing. So I've got this piece of pipe. This bearing is just a little bit big to fit in there, or the pipe's a bit too small. Whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to show you how I made that. And just like that, it's a new bearing. So I didn't tell you before, I used the center punch to punch the edges there. Not sure if it transfers all the way through or not, but it seems to hold it a bit tighter. So that's the first one I did. And I didn't learn a lesson on the first one, because I blew a big hole in there. I got my motor turned up too high. This is quite thin gal. Got a hole there. And same on that side, I just filled it up with weld. It's fine. Now I can slide this guy in, because this is going to be a tiny little bit of weld spatter in there. I'll get that going. And that's where that's going to live. Right there. I'll drill and bolt it. So I'm going to make an arm now. It's like an L shape. Goes horizontal this way and then straight down. That's going to attach to this. And then attach to the tie rod down there that's just sitting there. which is attached to the steering link. Pretty easy. Cut, weld, drill, not in that order. Alright, check this out. Steering. But I'm only getting about 1/3 of a turn lock to lock. And I want more. And the thing that's stopping me is this part here. It's come around and it's hitting. So I'm gonna make another one of these with a big curve in it. And that should get me half a turn lock to lock. Alright, steering is done. Got lock to lock. I got a really good steering angle on that. I got about 1/3 of a turn of the wheel. I was hoping for half, but it's not really possible with this type of steering. So I've had to lengthen these. I had to drop this one down a little bit because it was hitting up underneath there. Had to lengthen this link. I had to bend this one. I had to bend this one. And then down here I got rid of the tie rod and put 2 little arm joints. Beautiful. It's all welded and everything, so it's pretty much finished. I just got to clean it up and paint it, but I'll do that when I do the rest of it. This is the accelerator pedal here, but it's going to be forward sprung, so it'll sit about there. That's a good 100 mil, 4 inches, and I doubt I'm going to have that much pedal travel with the little carby that's on there. So that'll be fine. The brake pedal go here, it can come in and out easy peasy. Hopefully I don't have to push the brakes that hard to make it come past this point, because it'll be sprung forward just like that. And that's it. What are you for? Who knows? Maybe we'll find out in the next video. Thanks for watching.